Alright, so one thing we are not going to do is act like that wasn't one of the most saucy superhero entrances in the history of comics. Play it again. Imagine being 55 years old and still being able to make an entrance like that. That is exactly why Batman is my favorite hero right there. What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. And as you guys can see today, we're going to be taking a look at the Mafex Medicom toy, The Dark Knight Returns Batman. And I think everyone was expecting this guy to end up getting pushed back, but Mafex decided to hit us with that psych you thought, and they dropped it, and I couldn't be more happy. I am very stoked to have this figure in hand. I actually just watched the movie last night, so I'm even more hyped. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that sexy packaging so we can dive right into this figure itself. Personally, I'm a lover of all things black and gray when it comes to Batman, so a lot of this might be a little bit biased, but as you guys can see, we got the black packaging. It's got Batman right there. Of course, it's got the window so you can see the figure and some of the accessories. The Dark Knight Returns right there. Mafex Medicom toy Batman action figure DC. At the top, it just says The Dark Knight Returns. At the bottom, we got all the legal stuff no one cares about. Full image of him right here on the side with the same stuff. And then we've got number 106 right here. On this side, we've got a side image of him just posing a little bit. Then it says The Dark Knight Returns. And of course, on the back, some poses you can get the figure into, as well as some more legal stuff at the bottom. That being said, let's go ahead and bust this guy out because I'm stoked to see what they did with this figure. Now, straight out of the packaging, here we have Frank Miller's Batman. And I gotta say, in terms of looks, Mafex got this guy down. They did perfect. I literally have absolutely nothing to complain about in terms of the looks of this figure. I mean, they just hit the nail on the head. As you guys can see, it's got that older Batman look. He's got the much bigger build as he is a whole lot older. They got the cape right. The cape looks pretty sick as well. Mine's a little bit wrinkled with the way that they had it packaged. I'm hoping those will eventually come out. But yeah, there's a little bit of wrinkles to mine. But anyway, in terms of the details, as you guys can see, there's a whole lot of wrinkles in the clothing. They got the Bat logo right. I really love what they did with the belt. As you guys can see, it's not just one solid yellow color. They actually put some extra paint on there to make it pop a little bit. He's got the black underwear. He's got the tights, of course, that have the wrinkles in them all the way down to the boots. It gives me like an animated series look, but at the same time, it still captures everything from the movie. So I just love how well they did with this. I love this big Batman logo from front to back. Like, they nailed this guy. And it's not flat on the back, as you guys can see. There's actually not a whole lot of shading or anything going on, but they still continue to detail with the wrinkles and things like that all the way down on the pants. So it's a very plain look, but with what they had to work with, I think they did a really good job. So let's go ahead and put this guy back, see how tall he stands. Therefore, we can dive into that articulation. Now, to the top of his head, as you guys can see, he does stand right at about 6.5 inches. So definitely one of the taller import figures. I do still think that he will fit in scale with any other import figures that you have, as well as domestic. Now, for the articulation on this guy, he looks up about that much. Good enough. Looks down only about that much, and it still looks like he's looking forward, but it's because he's got a pretty thick neck and a big chin, so it tucks right here into the cowl. You're not going to get any more than that. His arms go up and out about, trying to see if I can get any further, about that much, which is fine. He does have butterfly joints, and so you can bring his hands in, our arms in, about that much, which is fine because he has a really big torso, so it does make sense. He does have a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows comes in only about that much. Hands are on a hinge, as you guys can see, but you can move those freely, so that's not a problem. He does have a diaphragm joint. Now, mine is really stiff, but he bends back about that much. Of course, you do get gappage in there, so there's no point in going that far back. And he crunches forward only about that much. Of course, you do get twist and turn in there, so you can pose him just about however you want at the torso. He does have waist swivel, and all of this is really tough on mine. Might need to put this guy in some hot water. It doesn't feel fragile or anything, but it just feels like super stiff. But it's all there, of course. Now, his legs are on the drop down method. He kicks forward about that much. He can give him the bat boot. He kicks back only about that. He does have, wow, that's a whole lot better than I thought it was. Yeah, and I still think he can go, yeah, a little bit further. So he can pretty much do the splits, no problem, even at the age of 55. Does have thigh swivel, as you guys can see, double jointed knees. His foot goes down about that much, up about that much. Of course, ankle rocker and toe hinge. So standard Mafex articulation, which in my opinion is perfect. I have nothing to complain about here. So I know all of us did have that horrible cape issue with the Batman Hush figure, which I think was really that figure's only flaw. Now I can say I do think that you guys will be satisfied with this one, because this only has 2 wires, yes, but they are very, very thick wire, and so the cape will pretty much go wherever you want it to. If you want it to flow, then the cape is going to flow. As you guys can see, the wire is right here and then right here. But as you can see, this part is even blowing, so you don't have to worry about it kind of sinking like what happened with the Batman Hush issue. And you can pose this guy with the cape up, no problem whatsoever. As you guys see, I just got him in a standard like boxing pose whenever he's getting ready to throw hands. And that cape staying exactly how I want it to. If you want it to blow in the wind to the side, there you go. So you can pretty much do whatever you want with this. And you can still, like I showed earlier, bring it over his shoulders. So that's one thing that I do really like. You can't get that full closed look just because the wire doesn't come all the way in, but that still looks very nice. So I'm satisfied with that. Accessory wise, you don't get a whole lot with this guy, but you do get what I think is necessary. Of course, you have the standard face that comes on him in the package. You do have a pair of fist hands, as you guys can see. He also comes with these really small batarangs, and you get 8 of these. You can actually attach them between the fingers of one of the hand accessories. I'll show you in just a sec. He comes with a pair of open, reaching, grabbing type hands. This is more so from when he's getting ready to attack. He does come with a pair of, I don't know what you would consider these, like hands kind of together. Another stylish pose, basically, you could use them for. Now, these are actually the hands where he will hold the batarangs between his fingers, and I'll show that. You just plug them in like so, and they do fit. I only got 2 of these out because they're really small and I don't want to lose them. But yeah, he holds on to them very well. They're not going anywhere, as you guys can see. And lastly, for hands, he comes with a pair of what look like fist hands, but they're not. As you guys can see, there's actually space in between the thumbs. These are actually for him gripping onto his cape. So like he's holding it in a defensive pose or whatever. Lastly, he does come with a alternate head sculpt. And this is when his teeth's gritted, like when he's getting in battle, when he's angry, whatever you want to use it for. So in terms of accessories, enough. I do wish that he would have came with his shotgun line launcher. That would have been dope. And then maybe just some other stuff that he used in the movies, like just a regular grapple gun. Once again, there was not really a whole lot they could attach with this guy, but still, the shotgun would have been dope. Now for some size comparisons, here he is standing next to what I believe is still the best Batman figure to date. We do have the Mafex Batman Hush with the Rapunzel cape. We do have the Mezco Supreme Knight, which I do believe is still based partially off of this look. And last, we do have the Mattel Batman Beyond, which is a decent figure that had the potential to be great. Next up, we have him standing next to the Kyoto Revoltech Deathstroke, the Mattel Too Tall Alfred, and of course the Mezco Commissioner Gordon. Lastly, here he is standing next to the Hasbro Rider Series Marvel Legends Punisher with the Walgreens exclusive head on it. We have the SH Figuarts Civil War Black Panther and the Marvel Legends Infinity War Black Panther. So for my final thoughts on this figure, I do have to say that I truly believe Mafex is 2 for 2 with these Batman figures. Everyone who was worried about these releases because they kept putting them up before we got anything out, if they keep coming along like this, we don't have anything to worry about, because literally the only issue I had with this figure was the fact that his joints were a little bit squeaky, and I've had that with several Mezco figures. I added some oil to them, and now I have no problems whatsoever. The look of this figure is great. The detail in this figure is great. Of course, the accessories. If they would have added the shotgun, it really would have topped it off for me. But it's not like that was something that was absolutely necessary, because technically he wasn't even in this costume when he was using it. He was wearing the blue and gray. So I can't even fault them for that. But other than that, the articulation, everything is all there. They might could have added some shading, but that's not going to be any kind of nitpick for me, because this figure still looks so damn good. Like, I was not expecting to like this figure as much as I do. Even though it's Batman, I didn't really care for this design. I'm picking it up just because it's Batman. Now I see this is probably going to be one of the figures that I end up posing around quite a bit. I hate myself for not getting a second one, but I am definitely going to be picking up every single version of this Batman that they release, because they did a good job. Even though I watched this movie last night, there was still a ton of stuff I didn't understand, like the mutants and all of that. I don't know where the heck they came from. And so I was watching the movie all kinds of confused, but I still just enjoyed getting to see this older version of Batman come back and just kick ass the way he was doing. And so I think I'm really going to enjoy this figure, guys, and I feel like any of you who get your hands on it, you will enjoy it. Granted, it's not the most classic Batman look, but it is still super freaking dope. And I know I've said that a million times, but guys, if it's not too late for you, get your hands on this figure. You will not regret it. But overall, that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon. That way you're notified whenever I upload new videos. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe. Peace.